Hello? I think we're good. And we're not doing Ultra. Alright, you know what? Why don't we just go for it? Oh my god, there we go. What's up, you guys? Alright, class, settle down and let me tell you a story. Yes, I know, like, we already went through the unboxing, but you know what? We honestly didn't, like, touch the internals for the simple reason that I didn't have the equipment to actually properly prep these things in order to keep them safe, because this is the first time that I actually bought like a system with cards that actually have monetary value, because I played MCP, I play Civ, and on both systems, their cards are replaceable. You can just print new ones out, no problem. The system, the TOs, or the organizers, even the actual maker simply wouldn't care whatever you do with them. So then you can literally shuffle those cards like playing cards, and no one would bat an eye, for the simple reason that they're worthless. You can simply replace them with each and every update. However, for the unmatched system, their cards are actually worth something, for the simple reason that they're not replaceable through updates. As in, they will be here permanently up until till time immemorial, because that was always the design. Because for most creators, they're trying to actually step away from the GW design, like that you have that their miniatures go into legend, or their systems, you have to buy new tactics cards, new unit cards, or whatever peripheral basically items peripheral to the gameplay expires after like a year or so. No, they're trying to step away from that. So, anyways, it's from Restoration Games, Mondo, ELO. This is basically the ELO version, IELLO version, which is basically what you can find here in Asia. But anyway, so what we're going to do is we're going to basically set them up. I honestly brought the proper sleeves for them, and I have travel boxes for them, because we will be leaving for vacation like next week, I think. So the thing is, I need to prep them for travel. I don't want to bring these boxes for travel, because they're collectibles. Actually, these things actually are worth something compared to the other systems that I played, where the boxes were simply there for, well, for transport and for convenience. But here, these things are actually worth something. So we're gonna try and do our best to keep them safe. As in, so why don't we just go for it? I know I had the table prepped so we could actually paint something, but the thing is, I'm so tired, you guys. I'm still in the middle of work. It's like it took me like hours just to finish 2 pages, because the back of my head just feels really heavy, and I'm honestly doing my best right now simply not to pass out in front of my desk. So, anyways, why don't we go with uh the little one first? Let's save the best for last. So basically, wait, before we do that, we have Little Red Riding Hood versus Beowulf, and then we have Cobble Fog, which has Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, the Invisible Man, Count Dracula, and Sherlock Holmes at the bottom. Now, the reason I got this, because here's the thing, right? Unmatched, there is no equal in combat. It's all about pop culture, or from history, from literature, even Marvel heroes. They basically you basically they basically fight each other. And the thing is, I have no interest in the others, especially in the Marvel universe. But what I am interested in are the authors. You have Bram Stoker, Sir Arthur Conan Doyle for Sherlock Holmes, Robert Louis Stevenson. He wrote Pirates, he wrote Kidnap, Treasure Island, and then of course H.G. Wells for The Invisible Man, 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, To the Moon and Back, Journey to the Center of the Earth. The list goes on. As for Little Red Riding Hood, I forgot the name of that French author. 14th century was the first recorded one who actually wrote it down. But the thing is, she actually existed in folklore before that particular Frenchman decided to write it down. And of course, we have Beowulf from from British legends or oral that was passed down from generation to generation. There was 11 or 12. His story was written down and then, or was found in an 11th century or what a 12th century manuscript, and they're not really sure about who the original author was because in that particular manuscript they found that it was passed on to several writers, so they don't know. So anyways, basically for the unmatched system I will be focusing on literary characters. Speaking of literary characters, I'm not even sure if I'm going to add Geralt because the Witcher series, the Unmatched also managed to dip into the Witcher franchise. So they have Geralt, they have Yennefer, and they have what was the name of that three thing? That three thing I forgot. You guys can just Google that one for yourselves. So, anyways, basically for Unmatched, I will be focusing on literary characters. And the only thing missing from this collection, or at least I think that would complete my collection, would be Alice in Wonderland by Lewis Carroll. Here's the thing, right? In the local scene, what people would do is they simply just pick and choose a character and then sell the rest. I don't plan on doing that. I'm basically gonna hold on to it. But the thing is, as for Alice, the last piece of my puzzle, I'm just gonna buy her as a singular unit. I'm just waiting for someone to sell her used or second hand, so I could finally complete this particular collection. And I'm guessing, from then on I could compete because the unmatched community is not only growing but it is alive and well. There are almost like weekly local LGS or local community tourneys happening around. Dog, shut up! My head is already hurting. Uh, there are almost like weekly community tourneys and then monthly regional or national tourneys happening. So, yes, the community is alive and well. Will I be stepping away from Sif? No, I'm not stepping away from Sif. It's just that for the time being, during these holidays, most of the players are out with their families, and right now we're still preparing for the Philippine Cup, which will be happening next year actually, by the end of January. That's the Philippine Cup, and I believe there's like two tournaments coming in by next year. But for now, we're just gonna play with Unmatched. This is going to be quote unquote my side system. And why don't we just head on in? So we'll be unboxing Alice and Beowulf first. So check us out, right? Actually, we've already done this, but it's just that the things inside are still sealed. I didn't bother to touch them for the simple reason that I didn't have the equipment to actually take care of them. But look at that artwork. That is amazing, my lord. Little Red Riding Hood, the huntsman as her sidekick, and then Beowulf. I don't even know the name of her sidekick. So, anyways, so in the battle, there are no equals. It's just a quick introduction here. Anyone, anywhere, unmatched is a fast-paced game of tactical combat between unlikely opponents. Pick your favorite hero, choose a map, and use your hero's unique deckhand abilities to win the day. You can mix up heroes and maps from any unmatched set, face new challenges and fresh combos. Dozens of possibilities await more with every new set. So, Little Red versus Beowulf. Once upon a time, Little Red Riding Hood went into the belly of the beast and lived to tell her grim tale. With the help of her friend the huntsman, she's ready to head back into the woods with few terrible tricks tucked away in her basket. As for Beowulf, Beowulf fills the War King with rage. Soon you will learn that he was the equal of Grendel. With his kinsman Wiglaf by his side, they are sure to win this fatal struggle. So inside, two minis, two sidekick tokens, 4 health dials, 63 cards total, 3 door tokens, Amazing. Alright, 3 rage tokens, 1 game board instructions. Alright, so why don't we dig in? But I'm more worried about the cards. Oh my god, we had everything ready to paint, but it's just that the back of my head is hurting. Oh my god, look at that art. It is amazing. Oh yeah, I think she has like the flower garden. Ah. Alright, so we have the manual. Little Red Riding Hood versus Beowulf. And the rules. I would if I had if ever I would get extra cash, I would buy the second hand set. And I would basically rip this box apart and frame it because of the artwork. That is amazing. I'm just not, cool with it being glossy because it reflects light, but imagine if this was matte and you frame something like this. Okay, so maneuver, setup, choose a battlefield, blah 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 blah. Pretty fairly standard. Boost, scheme, attack, combat, example. Yep, definitely gonna read that. But for now, we are going to pop everything out. So manual, check. And then we have the dials. One for Little Red and the Huntsman. So this is going to be Little Red's HP dial. And then along with the sidekick, her sidekick, the Huntsman. So same thing, actually. And then doorway. I'm assuming this doorway system is for Beowulf because I don't think that particular film Beowulf, 2009 or was it 2010? Could someone please look it up in the comments? They did this somewhat 3D movie film of Beowulf, and it was so bad, you guys. It was just horrible, for the simple reason that wait, what was the name of that film? 300. 300 was still the was still big during that time, so they tried to follow it up. But the problem is, no one could compare, and what the closest thing they could come up with was Beowulf, and you know what? It's like every 5 seconds he would shout, "I am Beowulf!" Like he's trying to recreate the King Leonidas. This is Sparta, which sucked. Honestly sucked. So, anyways, these are the basically these are the HP dials for Beowulf. I'm guessing Rage token and then Door. Huh. Wiglaf inside Beowulf's Rage tokens. Okay. No problem. Wiglaf. Nothing. Beowulf. Alright. Got it. And then finally, we have the map, two-sided maps. Because in that particular film, they were fighting inside the Mead Hall or inside this whatever hall this is, and you had like 3 doors. And I'm guessing they were fighting for these doors. And same thing actually. Belly of the Beast, Huntsman, whatever. Blah, blah, blah. Okay. So yeah, that's the map. So first we have Beowulf. As you can see, they're color coded. Should have taped this one, A1 Tech. I'm not sponsored. Good keyboard. I mean, I've had it for like years. I'm not into the whole RGB lighted keyboards for the simple reason that what, no one ever comes here. There's no one here. No one would ever see it. I didn't see the point. So Beowulf, traditional warrior, and as you can see, there's even space there. I'm assuming for magnets. The reason they color coded these, I'm not really sure what you call them. These base attachments is for the simple reason that players have a way of painting their own stuff. I believe the Houdini miniature. A lot of people choose to paint it as Joker. So what the creators or developers did was they made these base attachments just to identify who's who or which is which. Because I've seen some people, what they do is they sort of kit bash their characters into all other characters. So like they turn Houdini into what you call it, Joe the Joker. So just to be clear on that one. So anyways, there's that. That's Beowulf, Beowulf's miniature. So let's start with him actually. So basically, as you can see, there's like a space in the middle. So what I'm going to do is I'm basically going to magnetize this whole thing. I'm going to magnetize them, and then after that, I'm just gonna secure this whole base thing with blue tack. After I actually paint, after I paint, well, after I paint the miniature actually, which is simple enough because he's wearing some sort of a kilt armor. Look, he's not wearing any pants, so he's Caucasian. So I'm just gonna do brown hair. I'm just gonna do brown. I'm just gonna slap chop him. Honestly, I'm not gonna do anything with him. Look, brown shield. So I'm gonna dry brush. I'm gonna just dry brush him like I do my Seth units, and then brown hair, bronze inlay, and then that's it. Actually, he's not even wearing any pants. So inner shirt, I'm gonna make that green or something. I don't know, to present this whole Nordic thing. Sword, not that hard, but quite simple, really. So it's honestly quite simple. So yeah, I'm gonna leave it there. And then of course we have Wiglaf's token. Basically, this is the what you call it, sidekick token. Some guys have actually made acrylic versions of that one. And then of course we have Little Red Riding Hood. They gave her this wolfish look. She's wearing the wolf's head. Wolf's head. I'm not really sure if you guys can see it. No, autofocus. Come on, use your autofocus. But anyway, see, she's wearing the wolf's head like you guys see in like in some Roman officers or Roman units. So in this particular version, she's already killed the wolf, and now she's back for more combat or something. So yeah, I'm just gonna call her the wolf like dark gray or something or dark. Oh no! I figured it out. I am going to color this wolf white. From Jon Snow's Ghost because I was a player, right? I've honestly been planning on doing what you call it, basing these things with snow. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna winterize these things, and I'm gonna put up Ghost as that head. I'm gonna make up some head cannon. Oh my god, it's so awesome. Yeah, I'm gonna use Ghost. And then finally, we have the cards. But before we do the cards, let's do the poppers first. Let's do these things first. So let's do Beowulf first. So we'll just pop him out. So pop one. Oh, literally just fell off. Let's Wiglaf and then pop two. Oh, another one. That was easy. And pop 3 and 4. Actually, that's it. So here the end, and we just put these things together in order to put them together. Beowulf. So let's do these ones first. I'm not sure if I'll be able to do the whole glue thing to magnetize them in front of you guys because I'm wearing gloves. I usually don't wear gloves when I work with these things, especially when I paint. But you know what? For you guys, I am going to try. Yeah, there we go. We'll just tape up the excess or something. Is it? Is it? Okay. So we have a male and the female toggle. So put them together. So female toggle goes in first. That would secure everything. See? And then male toggle. Male toggle next. So. Oh, what happened? It's not securing or something. it's not going into the male toggle isn't going into the female toggle. You know what? At a certain point, I might just, glue them together if it doesn't work. So what? Anyway, so that's it. And it's not popping. It didn't like fit in the way I wanted it to. It's quite loose. So what I might do is I might glue these things together. But anyways, as you can see, even though it's a bit loose, which I'm a bit disappointed that it's loose, uh, I might just but it works because this thing was simply meant to be an HP counter. That's it. But again, not disappointed. Okay, so we're using this. Don't play with knives, children. There we go. We're gonna use the back end, and then hopefully I don't break anything. I don't break anything, yeah. There we go. Never leave the knife open. Okay, so we're... Ah! Crap. That's why some systems provide extra. So we're gonna try with another male toggle, see if that works. Okay, that's it. So male and female toggle together. It's honestly quite loose. Honestly quite loose. It's not, fitting in as hard. And I'm a little bit worried that it might just, fall off or something. That it might fall off. So what I'm going to do is I'm just, going to dip it with, I'm going to dip the female toggle with super glue or something. But anyways, this is how it works. So you start with, you start with full HP, which is like 17. And then, work your way down or work your way up depending on the circumstances. But for now, knowing that this is the result or this is what happens, that it's not, being secured, I'm definitely going to super glue them in the future so as not to lose them or something. So, yep. It's loose. And some people basically have already started 3D printing these HP counters. Me personally, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my D20 dice. I'm gonna use my D20 dice to just count HP. So yeah, I'm just gonna leave it like that. Because it doesn't fit properly. So yeah, I'm gonna put them back in their plastics and just come up with a super glue later because the HP counter isn't really that important, but I'd rather have them because in tourneys I've seen that people just write their HP down because it's simply -1, -2, -6, and then provide counter or something. And yeah, that's exactly what we're gonna do. We're just gonna provide. We're just gonna be using. We're just gonna glue them together. So hopefully we didn't lose one. Gonna put it back and then right there. Okay. So same thing actually belongs right here. There we go. So this is a Wiglaf, same thing, spinner, you guys have seen it. Now, for the cards, my god. For the cards, starts with one rage, when Beowulf is blah 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 blah, we've all seen that. Now, I wonder, this reminds me of the old lining, or the old, this open here, tier here line from old cigarette packs like my dad used to smoke. Where's the opening thingy? Yes, there we go. One, see? Just like old cigarettes. Ta-da! So, how many cards were these again? Was it supposed to be again? Hold on. We have a total of 63 cards, so we have Beowulf. So Beowulf is one, two. So end card, draw card, move your fighters. Okay, so basically this card on top is this card on top is like your what you call it, your character card, right? You don't actually use this to play, you just use this as a reference. So it doesn't really need that much protection since you need the end, you need the back compared to his movement cards, where all you have is this is your generic back of the card thingy. And for Beowulf, as you can see, this is the 10th, 11th century manuscript, his sword and his shield. There were several offers, but you guys, if you guys should read it, it's actually quite interesting, and you guys should, try to Google it because I found it interesting. So, anyways, this will be my first time using this type of sleeves. I don't even know the brand. All I know is I needed like better sleeves than the one. My bad. All I know is that I needed better sleeves than the one that I regularly use for Sif. Because check this out, right? This thing costs like less than $2. What do you call it? Uh, okay. Okay, I'm just gonna put it right over there. So this thing costs like less than $2. But it's definitely still better than what I use for Sif. So that's Fire Lion, Mat Protector, easy shuffling. Because you need to shuffle these cards. And the problem is, I've actually played like several matches on a casual basis already. But the thing is, I wasn't able to shuffle them properly because it was my first time playing. Okay. So this distinction. Hold up. Okay. So double plastic. All right, no problem there. So what do we have? No, it's easy because I don't mind tearing up the plastic because I won't be putting them back in storage. At least most of them. So this is what we have, right? So yeah, let's count. But for the character reference card, I'm simply gonna be using. For the character reference card, I'm simply gonna be using my penny sleeves. This is the one I use for my whatchamacallit Sif cards because you need to see the back. And for this one, obviously, you don't need. For the rest, you don't need to see the back. So I'm gonna put them here. Hopefully they fit, or else I'm screwed. Yes. So yeah, there we go. So if ever I do decide to sell them, I can claim that they have been sleeved since day one. So there's the character reference card, sleeved, pack, and for the rest. So you can see he was the War King. So 1, 2, 3. So basically he has 3 because he had 3 moves. You can either attack, defend, or scheme. I haven't read up on how to use Beowulf yet. Since I've only used the rest of the characters, and from me by using basically I borrowed my friend's decks. Decks. But Beowulf apparently, according to them, isn't isn't newbie friendly. So, anyways, I'm gonna look forward to in learning how to properly utilize Beowulf. Because so far, with this entire thing, I only have like what 6 characters total. I got Sherlock Holmes, Invisible Man, Jekyll and Hyde, Dracula, Beowulf, and Beowulf and Little Red Riding Hood. And in that particular in local turnings, you need at least 5. or no, 5 or 6, 5 to 6 characters. So as soon as I find my Alice, that's gonna be 7, and as soon as I get Alice, that's gonna be 7, and that's more than enough for me to actually participate or compete in the local tourneys. There we go. So for why purple? Because purple is the color of royalty. Alright? I don't. Here's the thing. People ask why I chose the Night's Watch faction for my first army. For the simple reason that well, among all of the factions in Game of Thrones, they were the only ones that were actually there to who were actually there to do their jobs, right? Everyone, each and everyone in that particular uh, franchise, each and every faction, each and every character was there for himself. Me. Uh, Me more cowboy than you. Right? Everyone was trying to be king. Everyone says the rest of you may kneel. But among all of those fucking factions, my bad, I shouldn't be cursing. Among all of those other factions, only the Night's Watch were there to actually do their job. So, what I'm doing right now is I'm pre-shuffling them because I've had several matches, and in those several matches, um, I've ended up with the same cards. I ended up with the same cards in a row. So in other words, I wasn't I wasn't shuffling my stuff properly. And the thing is, with Sith, I literally just throw these cards around and shuffle them like basic playing cards because uh they're not value. They're not valuable at all. So I don't really care. So I don't really care if I damage them because you know what? I'm just gonna print the next one out, and I have like what 1,000? At least not 1,000, but I have like hundreds of them as spares. So don't really care. So pre-shuffling. Huh. So we're gonna count them afterwards, okay? Right now we're just sleeving them. Ah, epic poem. So gain 1 rage during this combat. This card's value is +1 for each rage you have. So imagine you're in the fight. This is your attack value. So +1 for each rage that you have. So you have 2 rage. So it becomes 4 and you win. Because here unless you're dealing with a card effect, damage to your opponent damage is usually almost always usually relegated to 1 your basic damage, but unless you have like effects like these words provided at the bottom, what's gonna happen is that it's either going to multiply it will practically multiply the damage you have. That's it. Probably will be for life. Yay! I know some guys, they basically collect foil cards. I'm not really sure if I'm gonna go, that deep into it. Pre-shuffling. There we go. Front and oh yeah, defense card. Finally. So here in the defense, the equal of Grendel. Immediately, you may spend 2 rage to deal damage to the opposing fighter equal to the print value of their card. Amazing. Checking out their tier list when it comes to character. Beowulf is at C level, if I'm not mistaken. Can someone please put it down in the comments if I'm right? If there are fellow players out there. Not even sure if I should, continue pre-shuffling them because I'm having a hard time right now doing these with gloves on. But my manager told me, nope, you have to put on gloves. No one wants to see your goddamn hands. How come you guys don't? Why not? Why not? Well, no one wants to see your goddamn hands. You're not. You guys aren't ready for the hand. According to my manager, you guys aren't ready for a hand reveal yet. Uh, Probably will be for life. Yeah, we're gonna be here for quite some time, you guys. So now's the time. Ta-da! Because we'll be going on vacation like next week, and I really want to play with my family. I'm gonna be bringing this entire set so they can play with me. Probably will be for life. Oh, Steam again. So, Papa, Papa, Papa. I mean, like, would it matter? I mean, that I am, pre-shuffling these things. It's not like, it's not like they're gonna be shuffled the way they are at a certain point. Because as a matter of courtesy, like every time we play, you hand over your deck to your opponent, so he or she could either cut it, or give it a slight shuffle. So as you can see, guys, in this particular game, there are two types of movement: either the main character moves or the sidekick moves. And at that particular point in time, either you make your sidekick move, or you make your sidekick scheme, or you make Beowulf scheme. Probably will be for life. Um, Skinsman. And yet they're not confirmed, but they're not wearing any pants. So I'm gonna give them both basic, basic skin tones. Probably will be for life. I bet you I can paint better. Any of these guys. Because you can definitely check that, with the current community, uh, based on the groups, based on the chat groups, that a lot of people are just there to to find the meta. I mean, it's a very competitive system. It's a very competitive community, and yeah, tourney will definitely be fun, but I do expect a certain level of toxicity from this particular community because there are prices involved. Here's the thing, right? I believe that one of the reasons that makes SIF, at least in this country, a bit toxic is because of the record. There's SIF stats, right? There are SIF stats. So if you're familiar with chess or with the ELO rating, it's there for life. That's your record, that's everything. Right? So it behooves you to actually have a good record. And our community honestly just received an invitation from Thailand again for the Southeast Asian Championships. And so far, the council is already in on it, and that's what's going to happen. They're already meeting, and the thing is, here's the thing, right? Normally, what would happen is the nationals would happen first, and basically the internationals or the Southeast Asian Championships would already be on the table before the nationals happen. But due to recent events, the nationals happened without wait, where's that? Okay, there we go. The nationals happened without any word from the international community. It just happens. Basically, we just need people for the brag. Whoever becomes champion, gets a bragging rights. No one was. People weren't really sure if there was even going to be an internationals for this particular year because the community didn't receive word from any of the competing countries or from any of the participating countries. So, people were thinking maybe there won't be an internationals this year. Basically, there will be no internationals for 2025. The next internationals will basically happen this coming year, 2026. So Thailand already reached out, and there will be a nationals. So I'm not really sure how that's going to affect the current standings, at least on the national level. Siftats will be there. I didn't participate in the recent nationals for the simple reason that I didn't think I was ready. I had too much was going on. I even went on hiatus because of the new job. Had to get a new place. So it was simply a waste of time. Plus, I did so poorly in the qualifiers that I lost all 4 matches. That what I'm not prepared for this, and I didn't even know without actually studying up, without actually providing a proper list. I went in and tried to compete. So anyway, so this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. Usually, for this particular system, each and every character has each and every character has 30 cards. Then again, it depends on the character. So 30 and then 30. I wonder if it would fit because I know some guys they would double sleeve. Would it fit? I wonder. Hold on. Because these are penny sleeves. They cost nothing. They literally cost less than $1. No. Actually, they won't fit. Anyway, so that is 31 cards. I like purple. Purple means royalty. And then I got these things for less than $2. And probably will be for life. I'm planning on getting a separate container for the minis. Yes, there we go. Probably hassle. Okay, so there's one. Yay! Yay! Hold on. Yeah. Yep. So there's the first one. But what I'm going to do is I am going to basically leave them some space. So in order to make a space for the character cards and see that's it. So yeah, it's travel size now. It's travel size, so I'm gonna leave them space for their spinners and stuff like that. After this one, I'm gonna magnetize these things because I have. Hold on. I'm gonna show you guys something cool. Ta-da! I'm gonna put the minis here. Oh yeah. I am going to be putting the minis here after I magnetize them. So, yep, there we go. That should do it. Okay. Probably will be for live. Okay, so now, yeah. For now, I'm just gonna sit them there, and next is Little Red Riding Hood. Okay, I'm gonna put Huntsman. I'm gonna be putting that back there. And then next would be Little Red Riding Hood. You won't forget me. Okay, Little Red Basket. So check this out, right? What makes her so special is that she has, of course, first would be the first would be the would be her reference card. Not really necessary, just provides a reference of what you can do with her or what her abilities are. Hold on, where did I put that? Ah, the QAC card. Okay. No, I spelled. So hard to move for the simple reason that I'm touching plastic on plastic and not flesh on plastic, which I usually do when I paint or when I move around. I mean, who cares anyway? For my hand reveal, no one cares. I'm a male VTuber. Apart from having the the regular VTuber debuff, I have the male VTuber debuff. I mean, it's not really going to be surprised that there's a dude behind this voice. Of course, you could be talking to a femboy, but well, it's highly doubtful. By the way, we will be playing with Blue Archive on Saturday. We'll be playing Blue Archive on Saturday because of the whole Connor thing. So wait. Before we do, so that's Beowulf. That's the whole Beowulf thing. Next, of course, we're gonna be popping his rage token. So rage. Oh shit! What happened to the other one? We're missing like a door token. Holy crap! Okay, so 2 rage tokens. Alright, it's probably here somewhere. Holy crap! Where did it go? Holy crap, don't tell me I already lost it. There goes the value of this particular set. Because this is Wiglaf, Beowulf, and then must have fallen off somewhere. I'm gonna find it later. And then rage token 1, 2, 3. Because he taps into that Viking Berserker Rage and then HP counters. Where did it go? Holy crap. Hold on. There we go. Found it. Scared there. Got worried there for a second. Okay. So Little Red Riding Hood. We have her whatchamacallit, reference card. Again, not part of the gameplay. Just put them there and then look at it in case you forgot. What makes this character a little bit special is because she has this Little Red's basket, right? Starts in your discard pile. It does not count as a card. So, what happens is that every time the effects of her moves is dependent on. Okay, it's basically dependent on the symbol on that particular card. So, if you have a wolf card, that means you need to put another wolf card on top of it in order so you can get the benefits or effects. I'm not really sure about the efficacy of this particular system. Like for example, you have this and then you finally use one card, so that's a wolf symbol. So you got this, put it in the wolf symbol, and then immediately cancel all the effects of your opponent's cards. That's gonna require a bit of a study and a bit of timing in a sense that you need to play her well. She's a very aggressive player, and she's currently listed as as a rank A, under rank A plus if I'm not mistaken. So that's how this flower basket works. I'm not really sure because I played her. I've already played using her as a character, but I'm not sure. Again, I'm completely new to this particular game, to this particular system. So again, with the efficacy of that kind of with that kind of moves for her, is it good? Is it bad? All I know is this particular character, Little Red Riding Hood currently stands at A, if I'm not mistaken. Rank A. I was doing some light reading or some light research regarding this one. So far, with regards to that particular research, the community is a bit welcoming. But then again, almost all communities are welcoming, especially those that are still starting out, or especially those with small communities. As for Unmatched compared to Civ, where we have concentrated communities here in the metro, and with just a few players scattered outside scattered in the provinces. We're good, but internationally, we have a big community. In Europe and in China, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, the internationals is where we shine, because again, developing country, not everyone is gonna be walking around with that kind of cash. So yeah, and here, Magic the Gathering MTG is king. No foils. Okay, no foils it is. I don't even know how the quote unquote foil card system works. So compared to Beowulf earlier, we only have like two of each of the same card. Interesting. Interesting. Okay. Uh, Keep the rest there. But what large hands you have, Grandma? You see, just so you could have a vision. So attack card, defense card, attack or defense card, depending on the circumstances that you want to use them. Same thing. We're getting like two of each of everything because, like I said, everything flows through the flower basket. That's how she fights. She's meant to be a very aggro character, and I kind of like her actually. So far, in terms of I honestly can't remember because it's been so long since I played Alice, but I'm honestly looking forward to getting her in the collection because, like I said, Lewis Carroll. You won't forget me. Bum, bum. Lewis Carroll. So, the Alice character is quite aggressive. And so far, with regards to my play style, I like it. So 3 for this one. Interesting. I'm gonna put it on the bottom. So this is a scheme card. So 1, 2, 3. All right, 3 of a kind. All right, no problem. Huntsman. Again, sidekick. These are the sidekick cards. 1, and then Huntsman is 2. There we go. And then 2. Yes. Glove. So yep. Again, Huntsman combat card 1. Yeah, can't wait to play. Honestly, I know some guys they double sleeve them because I guess it's for those that have a plan to actually let them go or sell them. But no, these are my first systems, and these things will basically go with me to the grave. 3? Oh, there's 3 of them. So the Huntsman is a very offensive centric sidekick because look, 1, 2, 3, 3 offensive cards. It's amazing. So once upon a time, I have yet to actually read the Grim Dark. I honestly didn't know that I have been mute the entire time. But anyways, picking up from where, guys, I need help. All right, please let me know if I'm on mute at least. So, anyways, holy Holy crap! You know what? I am going to post this. I am not going to edit this. I'm just gonna post everything up and to see that, if I've been, if this whole thing has been like on mute the entire time. It is what it is at this point. It is what it is at this point. I'm not even gonna bother. How long have I been muted? For all I know, I have been on mute since this whole thing began. But screw it. Alright, so we've already gone through like 50 of these purple sleeves, and we're gonna open the next pack. I think I made a count. It's like 154, I think. No, 184. We're gonna be going through, or with 184. I can't believe I left the whole thing on mute the entire time. I need help. Anyway, so again, very offensive. Very offensive centric character. You won't forget me. And probably will be for life. Oh, 1, 2, 3. Oh my god. 4. That's amazing. This is the first time I've seen 4 cards in a row. So okay. I'm just gonna put this one like right here in the middle or something, since we're pre-shuffling them. So you won't forget me. God damn it! I have been on mute the entire time because I don't monitor myself. Before my mama left for Australia, she simply told me that you shouldn't monitor your own voice, or else you will be pausing for like every 5 seconds just to check yourself out, like if you're doing well. Same reason why I don't count viewers. You're not supposed to just put it on 0 and have fun with it. That's why I'm still here, you guys. We're not really to be honest, I'm not really sure which direction this whole thing, Midnight is going. Me as Midnight is going, but you know what? I'm honestly having fun right now, and I'm honestly just glad to be here. Hanging out, being an all-around internet goober. I don't mind, doing this for a living. I don't mind being like this for like the rest of my life, because you know what, I spent like the first half, or I spent majority of my life touching grass. And to be honest, I am tired, you guys. And you know what? This is as good of a refuge as any. Being here. I'm having fun, enjoying myself, painting my minis. Yep, it's all good. And right now, you know what? I never considered, I'd end up doing this, sleeving cards or playing cards. Are they considered just playing cards or system cards, with you guys? And you know what? Yeah, I'm happy right now. I am doing well. I believe I'm doing well. And I thank the Lord thy God for giving me this privilege of, being able to play with you guys. So, let's count off. Pre-shuffled. You gonna enjoy this? Okay, so let's count off. Hold on. Some cards are peeking out, and it's not good at all. We should, push them in order so that they would maintain their value. Just for shits and giggles, as soon as I get some extra scratch, I am going to double sleeve them like the other guys, like how the other guys do. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30 cards, 30 cards, 30, 31, that's her basket, and then 32, That is her reference card. Awesome. Okay. I'm gonna put in here next. As soon as I fix these things, I'm gonna rearrange these things because I think we're wasting space here. It's like I'm just gonna space them out using like cardboard or something. It's like way too much space. So, yep. Mm, okay, so two, and then these are the Little Red Riding Hood, and then this is the Huntsman. Whatchamacallit? Huntsman sidekick token. Ta-da! Papa. Alright. What for her popper thingies or for the HP counter? Little Red Riding Hood, of course, main character is bigger. The end. 1. And then Huntsman 2. There we go. I'm just going to keep them there until I get the proper materials in order to put them together. I think I'm just gonna have to like shape. I think I may have to, with regards to this, to the male and female popper. I have this feeling that the male popper thingy might be a little bit too long, so I may have to grind it down just for a little bit in order so that it would be a perfect fit. So it wouldn't like wobble around. Anyways, that's Little Red Riding Hood and Little Red Riding Hood and Beowulf. So who's next on the docket? And then again, we have like the map. And we have the, whatchamacallit, instruction manual. Oh, hello. What's this? Oh, okay. Should have taken a picture as to how they look like. I mean, that was like one of the best advice I've ever had. You should like take a picture before you like pop them out. Oh yeah, no. As for the map, I even got these things, these file box, so I could travel with them. But I forgot to. What do you call that piece of plastic that you get in packaging? Bubble wrap. I have bubble wrap downstairs, but I haven't gotten them. But anyways, that's Beowulf and Little Red Riding Hood. Okay, who's next? Who is next? Next, we have Cobble and Fog, ladies and gents. There we go. Look at that art. Look at that art. You have the Invisible Man. You have Sherlock Holmes. He's almost always usually banned, by the way, because he is at S plus tier. Dracula, you have Dracula, and then of course you have Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. So yeah, Sherlock Holmes artwork, Dracula with the blood and all, and then Dr. Jekyll. No, that's Mr. Hyde. Green, evil grin, and then of course the Invisible Man. Manual. And then we have their popper thingies. My friend, what he did was he had this 3D printed. Because you know what, a lot of people, would rather actually preserve these things than to actually, mess with them. So again, Sherlock Holmes, HP counter, Dr. Watson as sidekick. You have Dracula. He has the sisters, the brides of Dracula as as his sidekicks. They only have 1 HP, but he has the power to resurrect them. And then of course you have the Invisible Man, and then Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. So you basically flip them over. If you're currently playing as Dr. Jekyll or Mr. Hyde, and then for the Invisible Man you have the fog thingies to basically make him move around, or it's used as a within the game you use it as a teleportation device. And then the map, obviously much bigger. Hold up, let me just open it up. Obviously much bigger because you can do 4 on 4. So 1, 2, character 3, and then character 4. You can duel 4 on 4. If I'm not mistaken, Tales to Amaze and the new one that came out, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. They're the ones with the actual co-op adventure with whatchamacallit, against Shredder. Because in Tales to Amaze, you fight the Mothman. Okay, so who or what is next? Alright, let's go first with Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. No sidekick. We're just gonna pop out Dr. Jekyll and then Mr. Hyde. No sidekick. Mm. So Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde. No, no, this is Dracula. No. That's why he has the claw thingy with his hand. Okay. Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. He's carrying the elixir, and he has an axe. It's been quite some time since I've read. So yeah. Again, I'm gonna whatchamacallit, magnetize this whole thing, and then I'm just gonna secure this the base thingy with blue tack. I'm not even sure if the if he murdered anyone with an axe, but anyways, we have some sort of a two-phase situation going on. I don't have my magnifying. Do I have my magnifying glass with me? No, no, no. I'm gonna bring it up upstairs later. Anyways, this is what we have. So, Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde. Let's sleeve him. Um, Not a bad character. Although, I think he's ranked at C. He's ranked as C tier. So, you know what? Consider that. Consider him as you will, actually, because I've known that for a fact for playing tabletop. Uh, Sorry. Should have used. We're gonna use this one since we're just gonna. It's just a reference card, and there's nothing special about this whole thing apart from the fact that you either move or attack as Dr. Jekyll or Mr. Hyde. So there we go. One. So with haste, you're moving as Dr. Jekyll. Mm, you are moving as Dr. Jekyll with haste. Okay. And then I honestly can't remember what he did to this elixir. All I know is I remember the opening of this particular novel. Like he was I forgot the name of the guy or the British gentleman whose job whose from whose point of view that this entire story was seen. But all I know is he saw Dr. Jekyll or Mr. Hyde trampling a little matchstick girl or something. So there we go. And by trampling, as in literally stepping on top of the girl. Basically, he didn't even move. He just he just trampled her because she was in his way. Dr. Jekyll. So again, 2-on-2 cards. No, we haven't found 3-on-3 cards yet. So calming research. The duality of man, the id. There was this particular story that my communications mentor, my film mentor, once taught me that about this. There's this, that I actually used this story several times for lit class or for writing exercises. Like they were on a bus. Like one guy gets on a bus, and then because he just found out that he won the lottery, or he's basically on his way to downtown or to the city. Basically, they live in a rural area. They live in a bus. And he's going to town for the simple reason that he had a dream that he won the lottery. So, anyways, again, remember, rural area. And an accident happened, an avalanche happened. Like, the bus was going down the side of a mountain, under a tunnel, what have you. And the tunnel sort of collapses. After the tunnel collapsed, they were all trapped. So there were like several people on the bus with him. And they started talking, hey, I'm A, I'm B, I'm C, and D, whatever. There are like several of them, from basically people from different walks of life. So, what are you here for? I mean, where are you headed off to? And they started talking. Like, oh, check this out, right? Don't tell anyone. But one of the reason I'm going to town right now is because I had a dream that I had a dream of winning the lottery. Like I have the winning number combination right here, right now. I mean, I have it in my pocket. I have it. I was able to write it down after I woke up from my dream. So there was A B C D E F G. They found out that for some reason they all have the winning combination to the lottery. They all dreamt. They all dreamed of the same thing. And I forgot to tell you guys that while all of this, these were just the passengers talking. The driver was hurt. So, anyways, they had nothing to do at all, for the next, couple of days. They were trapped in that bus underground. They didn't even know if they were going to be rescued. But somehow, they managed to convince themselves that, they were going to be rescued. But they all decided at a certain point that they didn't want to share the winning lottery ticket or the winning lottery number with each and every one, because that's what happens if you win the lottery. If you have the winning ticket and it just so happens like someone else manages to come up with the same combination. Hello? What the hell? Oh my god. It's sort of like dawned on me that this entire deal that there has been like a two camera pickup this entire time. But anyways, you know what? I give up. I'm just gonna leave it as is. I am not going to edit it. I'm not even going to listen to the audio at this point because I am so tired, you guys. Anyway, so back to our story. Back to our story. So as the whole thing was going down, right? So that's what happens. Oh wait, hold on. Let's just step back for a bit. Because that's what usually happens, right? If you win the lottery and it just so happens that someone was also able to come up with with the same winning number, then you two are going to have to split the prize money with that other person that came up with the same combination. So yeah, definitely not gonna. These people decided, yep, nope, definitely not going to happen. I am definitely not going to, share the prize money with these freaks that just happen to have the same dream as me. So action happens and they started to kill each other. And you know what? Some freaky stuff happened inside that collapse tunnel. They just decided to just wail on each other. Let's just kill each other and stuff like that. Anyways, there can be only one, just like the Highlander, and one survived. Person A, the one with the one guy we followed first, that supposedly dreamt of the winning lottery ticket or the winning combination to the lottery. And somehow, finally, the driver who got hurt, who fell unconscious this entire time, wakes up and says, I just had like the weirdest dream, right? I have like that I'm going to win the lottery. The end. You can use that one on your next lit class. Go ahead, steal that one. I have no other, I have no more uses for that particular story. So feel free to use that in your next lit class. Feel free to use that in your next what you call it, uh film class if you can film it. Go. Okay, so let's count. Supposedly in this particular box there should be 124 cards. So 124 cards. So anyway, let's pack them up. Pack them up, pack them up. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. So I guess it's pretty standard unless, the cards or the instruction says otherwise. And that is Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. I mean, that's a bit confusing, right? I mean, does Mr. Hyde have the same thing? Because last time he was like mentioned in pop culture. Uh, it was in the film A League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. It was a horrible film, and me and my friends actually saw it in cinema. Horrible film, actually. It was the film that made what do you call it, James Bond, Pierce, no, not Pierce Brosnan, Roger Moore, not Roger Moore, no, Pushy galore. The James Bond, the one with the beard, the one who got cancelled because he said that you got to slap her, with regards to women, you got to slap him around every now and then. What was the name of that James Bond actor? I forgot his name. Anyways, The League of Extraordinary Gentlemen was the film that basically made him quit, um, or made him retire from filmmaking. What was his name? Bushy. Hello. He had that voice. He was James Bond. He had that voice. And then, what else did he do? He was supposed to be Gandalf, but the problem is, he didn't understand like the script, so he passed it on and gave it to Sir Ian McKellen. So, anyways, we've got Beowulf, Little Red Riding Hood, Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. And who's next? Alright, who do we have next? Alright, we have the Invisible Man. I guess one of Jules Verne, practically one of the precursors, or one of the quote unquote pioneers. I guess he didn't invent, because uh the honor of the honor of see, this is why I'm just, going to divide them by what you call it. For those, I'm gonna divide them by cardboard. I'm just gonna use cardboard to divide them. So, anyways, one of Jules Verne's lesser known works was The Invisible Man, because he was known more for his, ultra sci-fi thing. Of course, although The Invisible Man can be considered as sci-fi, it's not, quote unquote as sci-fi as, Journey to the Center of the Earth, 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. As you can see, hollow from the cane, hollow from the boots, and hollow from the face. Um last time the Invisible Man, showed up in pop culture was that early 2K film Hollow Man, starring Kevin Bacon and that guy from No Country from Old Men. I forgot his name. He was the one. He was also in that. He was also in that film. Soldado. The one with Benicio del Toro, where they go up against the cartel. Can someone please put down the name of that particular film? Anyways, let's keep on going. Okay, so Invisible Man. Let's just get his what you call it. Let's get his reference card first. Nothing special. Just like everyone else, he gets a reference card. I think he's in the D tier. I'm not mistaken, but I'm just gonna restudy that list again. Because here's one of the things I don't like about this particular community. It's like no one can just come up with a list. It all has to go through like YouTube or something because they feel like they have to explain why this particular character is on that particular is ranked that way. Why is ranked so highly and why he has a very low rank. Vice versa. Like everyone's trying to be a VTuber, whatever. But you know what? Why can't they just come up with a link that here, this is the list afterwards. So I'm really thankful for some of those guys that put it on an Excel file because I honestly don't want to listen to an entire YouTube video. You can skip because I've always wondered every time someone provides like a tier list. It's always so blurry. It's always so low res. And the reason for that is what people do is they simply, tap a screenshot. Tap a screenshot of that complete list. So, anyways, Invisible Man. After combat. So, with regards to film reference, because the Hollow Man was quite different, they post it or the one with Kevin Bacon, they post that whole thing or they framed that thing to be some sort of a horror, serial killer horror type deal. But uh, uh yeah, that's the way they framed it, and can't do nothing about it. The film was somewhat entertaining as a horror film, but it didn't really, somewhat to me, honestly, it didn't, honor Jules Verne as an author. And Jules Verne, there's a lot of misconception that he is quote unquote the founder or the creator of the sci-fi genre. Nope. That honor belongs to Frankenstein. That honor belongs to Mary Shelley's Frankenstein. Right? She was 18 years old when she wrote Frankenstein and she wrote it in a graveyard. So yeah, honor belongs to her, not Jules Verne, of creating the sci-fi genre. Here. So, anyways, uh, on my last match, a friend actually used this one against me, and a very hit and run tactic because here, hold on, let me show you guys. Mm, yeah, because the plan is you're gonna be running around the map and you're gonna be using these fog tokens. The way he used them is like you can place them wherever you want, and then you can place them in whatever position you can have him, and he can basically teleport on any. As long as a frog token exists, he can teleport there or something. That's the way it works. So he's more of a hit and run kind of guy, like compared to Beowulf, compared to Little Red Riding Hood. Like their job is to basically um mix it up in the middle in fight or whatever. Uh huh. So anyways, one, two, three. Oh yeah, we're still doing this. We are still doing this. So, but with regards to uh with regards to actually honoring Jules Verne's work with regards to the Invisible Man. Uh, the Shadow. There was this 90s film, I believe it came after Spawn, The Shadow. I remember the theme song. I've been looking for the original sin, one with the twist and a bit of a spin. And can someone please put it down in the comments the name of that actor who played the Shadow? I honestly can't remember because they're brothers, just like the Skarsgård brothers. They're also brothers. There's Adam, Alec, and something Baldwin. I can't just remember if it was Adam Baldwin or Alec Baldwin. All I know is that I think he or he one of them's in trouble right now, but because they accidentally killed the cameraman or something. Because they were shooting a film and he was practicing his lines. He was practicing his stuff. So what he did was he pointed his gun and he didn't, and the whole thing was loaded with a real live round, and he was basically facing the camera, or he pointed it at the camera and pulled the trigger, and apparently it contained a live round and killed the camera person. The reason I'm saying camera person is because I think the camera person for that particular film, or the one he killed, was a female. So, anyways, can't remember if it was Adam or Alec Baldwin, but in the film, or actually, it was more of a rendition of the comic book The Shadow. I don't even remember, but anyways, I believe it's The Shadow is based on another graphic novel. But anyways, that's a Shadow. I've been looking for an original sin, one with a twist and a bit of a spin. Honestly, liked it, and it honestly reminded me more of this one, the Invisible Jules Verne's The Invisible Man, compared to the early 2K's Hollow Man with Kevin Bacon. And that guy with from No Country with Old Men. No Country for Old Men. Because the recent film, the one with Timothy Chalamet, Dune, he was Gurney. He played, what was his name? I forgot the name of that actor. He played Gurney in Dune. Opposite of that freak. The Listen Al Gaib, the guy who keeps saying Listen Al Gaib. What was the name of that killer? Shiger. Anton Shiger. Anton Shiger was the name of that killer thing. The freak. He had that stupid haircut, which made him more terrifying as a hitman. Because why would you have that haircut? He had that compressed air tank, and he would just put it on top of people's faces, and then that's the first time I saw in film anyone use a shotgun with a suppressor. Anyways, it was amazing. One of the best films I've seen. Western films that I've seen. No Country for Old Men. Anton Chigurh. Is it Anton Chigurh? Comments please. Anyways, almost the same cast in Dune. They were there. They were both there. The guy who played Gurney, the guy running away with the cash. Especially that scene. How much have you ever lost in a coin toss? Anyways, almost there. Papa. Ah, one with a twist and a bit of a spin. I've been looking. Just can't remember Adam or Alec Baldwin. But anyways, old films that I'm pretty sure none of you guys have seen it. Seen it, because I know for a fact that a lot of you are a little bit too young. One of the reasons why I'm having so much trouble collaborating with other VTubers, for the simple reason that I'm honestly afraid that I'm gonna be part of some drama, because a lot of these guys are really young, early 20s at best, and you know what, I'm already in my mid 30s. I'm gonna leave you guys to guess. But the thing is, So yeah, I am afraid that I might be involved in some drama, and I'm honestly afraid of being accused of trying to hit on uh younger people or something, especially since I believe, if I'm not mistaken, some of these VTubers are minors. So yeah, might as well just keep my hands off. But I did find this community of VTubers, and there's this quote unquote retirement home where hags and unks like me get to hang out. But the problem is, for some reason, in that subsection of our in that Discord subsection, for some reason kids are still hanging out in that subsection, despite the fact that that particular chat line is meant to be for hags and unks like me. So yeah, I'm honestly afraid to. Oh my god, is that a foil card? It was shiny. No, oh no, not a foil card. I thought it was like reflecting something. Because some friends have told me you should watch out for goodies because you might find some foil cards slipped in as a bonus or something. Some of these boxes. Uh, I thought I saw something shiny, but no. I've never been, lucky like that, like, winning stuff. I've never like won anything, but I have always considered myself blessed because I have almost always, have everything that I need. Like for example, I am able to hang out with you guys, despite the fact that I'm running all of this on a potato PC. Like yeah, I won't be able to play high end games with you guys, but I can't even play high end games anyway for the simple reason that I don't have the reflexes for it anymore. So yeah, as you can see, he's a very defensive player. So very rare red cards or very minuscule red cards. So let's count them out. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, and 30. They're slipping out. I need to touch this plastic with flesh. Uh, I've been looking for the original sin. One with this one's definitely gonna need more space. So I'm gonna move this one a little bit further out, and yeah. Uh, no, no, yeah, yeah, yeah. This one's definitely gonna need more space for the simple reason that oh crap, almost fell off. For the simple reason that he has this. Apart from the other peripherals like just the HP counter, he has these fog tokens. So more space for him. And that's it. We have Beowulf, we have Beowulf, we have Alice, we have and then Beowulf, Alice, Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, the Invisible Man. Alright, let's move on to the next group. Set one. Oh, we only have like two left, so and next we have Dracula. Next we have Dracula. The start of your turn, so same deal. Oh no! See, again, I'm gonna have to stick these things with blue tack because apparently they're quite strict at competitions. Because people paint them the way they want to be painted, so they might not be the final product might not be recognizable, so they started to color code them. This one's and for apparently for the Invisible Man, he's baby blue. So no matter how much interpretation you did, and because what some players do is they like get bash him with fog or something. Anyways, next we have Dracula. So the reason he's known as Dracula is because his claws are extended like that. I don't know. Anyways, Dracula. I've been looking for the original sin. One with a twist and a bit of a spin. Okay, so uh, for Dracula, he has the brides. So if you guys have seen that, mid 2K film Van Helsing with Wolverine, Hugh Jackman, he fought these girls, and yeah, here's their thing, right? They're 1 HP each, but they deal big damage. They deal somewhat level damage, but they're also 1 HP each. But the thing is, they can all be resurrected by their master Dracula. So, anyways, mm, yeah. How come it won't bite? Swear to God, if this thing doesn't work, I'm gonna do a hand reveal right here and right now. Yeah, won't trigger. It won't trigger. Ah, how come I can't? God damn it! Don't make me take out the knife. Oh, there we go. Ta-da! Pang. So again, a reference card. At the start of your turn, you may deal 1 damage to a fighter adjacent to Dracula. If you do, draw a card. So that's his thing. Just being in his vicinity will damage his enemies. And then so reference card. Hmm. Yes, of course. Okay. There we go. So reference card. Let's begin. So, what do you have? Beast form. During combat, you may discard any number of cards from your hand. This card's value is 1 for each card that you discard. So, oh my god. So, I think he's ranked at B plus, or was it C? Because check this out, right? This card means that you can literally, if you have like a ton of cards with you, you have a chance of one-shotting your opponent. Very powerful. Hmm. And during combat, uh, each card, so you can one-shot your enemies. Uh, ah, and then mist form. Place Dracula in any space and gain +1 action. Wow. Anyways, hmm. Very powerful, yet for some reason he's not in the list, or he's not in the usual list. But for some reason, lower tiered lower tiered characters are like more useful in tourneys or something. I have no idea how it works. I have never done an unmatched tourney, but you know what? Looking forward to it. There's like a weekly community tourney happening in in almost like any part of the city. So not worried about that. But before competing, I would like to get Alice in first. Here's the thing though. I actually found someone selling his Alice deck, but the problem is he's literally all the way on the other side of the island. And yeah, the shipping fee simply won't make it worth it. Might as well buy an entire box or buy the entire box. Get her brand new. Because the thing is, the reason that I didn't want to get the Alice box, because she's the only character I like in that particular box, because you have King Arthur, you had Medusa, and I forgot the fourth character that was in that box. All I know is that I didn't like him or her. Because in that box alone, for some reason, Medusa was slinging arrows or something. Medusa was known for as a very tragic tale in Greek mythology. She was, SA'd. She got SA'd, and instead of being helped by the gods, they decided to turn her into. There were several interpretations of Medusa in Greek mythology. She was raped. She was SA'd, and she sought vengeance for the gods, so they turned her into a monster. They turned her into a monster that turns men into stones with simply her gaze. And then the other interpretation was that one of the goddesses, Greek gods, was so jealous of her beauty that she turned her into a monster. Anyway, she cuts a very tragic figure in Greek mythology, but I don't like the way Unmatched interpreted her, because what the hell was she doing with the bow and arrow? Her gaze was enough. But anyways, very interesting. It's just that I don't like what they did to her character. So, whereas Alice and Lewis Carroll's Alice in Wonderland, very tumultuous character in a sense that Alice in Wonderland, written by Lewis Carroll, it was openly provided that she was inspired by an 11 that her character was inspired by an 11-year-old prostitute, and creeps like Lewis Carroll back then didn't have to hide what they were. I mean, if you search hard enough on the net, you will find that the pictures that Lewis Carroll took of that 11-year-old prostitute that quote unquote um inspired Alice in Wonderland. But anyways, with regards to pop culture, Alice in Wonderland have always been held this as a form that held has been held to be this form of fantasy derived from psychosis. Alice in Wonderland, there was this one with Johnny Depp. Uh, the name of that director who did Coraline, he was the one who made that Alice in Wonderland, and then there were several games, Alice in the World of Madness or something, where she was psychotic. Anyways, one of the things that I find fascinating about the Alice structure in modern pop culture is they almost always included it, or interpreted her as a form of psychosis. Basically, in the story, she was simply dreaming. The rabbit, the timekeeper, the Queen of Hearts, the King of Spades, whatever, was merely part of her dream. But modern pop culture has provided that it be rendered, or that her interpretation would almost always be something somewhat psychosis induced, or a somewhat hallucinogen induced by hallucinogenics or something. Like, in other words, and almost always forms, or you could always tell that the interpretation of Alice in Wonderland is a product of an unsound mind. Because even here in Unmatched, you have Alice, or the way they interpreted Alice in Wonderland here is that she's walking around with a giant cleaver, just cleaving people in half. So, anyways, I love that. That's psychotic interpretation of her. That's why I want her as part of my collection, and of course, she's also part of literature. With regard, check out Ravening Seduction. Move any fighter up to 2 space. Deal 1 damage to the move fighter for each fighter seduced them. So basically, you can literally one-shot your enemy with these cards. So, anyways, that's it. With regards to characters, I'm not really sure about The Witcher. What was the name of the Witcher author again? I forgot. Wozniak, Serbriak. Oli Wozniak. I honestly can't remember. I have a hard time remembering the name of the author, the Witcher author. All I know is that it's all I know is that it's very simple and easy to pronounce, despite his name being Polish. But anyways, the reason for that is because it has been mired so much that uh I don't know as to what kind of interpretation we're looking at. Either because thanks to like The Witcher, the Netflix Witcher, and the video game franchise, I no longer can tell from where they derive the interpretation of The Witcher. Like for example, one of the Geralt miniatures under The Witcher, because they have two boxes that represents The Witcher. Blood and Silver, I think, and the other one I can't even remember. And honestly, I'm not interested for the simple reason that, again, I can't tell from which. I mean, you can easily tell. Not not that I can't tell, but you can easily tell that their interpretation of that Unmatches interpretation of The Witcher was derived from the video game and not the actual novel. How do I know that? Because one of Gerald's miniature is the famous one from where he was just relaxing on the tub, on the bathtub. Yeah, like yeah, that's the miniature there. Gerald relaxing on the bathtub but not in combat. And for some reason, I'm really not that interested in reading the franchise or reading the novels because unfortunately I saw the Netflix series first before I read the book. So I kind of so basically the book was meh. It wasn't something that I was interested in, like seeing the anime first before you read the manga. The manga's gonna be for me that's the problem. If I manage to watch the anime first, either on purpose or by accident, I'm definitely going to lose interest in the manga. One of the things that that I have always wondered about The Witcher is the chronological order in the film. Like the only clue that that actually provided that that years have passed in their universe are basically snippets of conversation. Like when Yennefer was attacked by this assassin that wielded this weird what you call it, this weird ass scorpion bug thingy. Remember she was talking to the queen, royal, she was yapping, I've been a royal ass wiper for like the past 200 years, blah 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 blah. Like she was whining. So anyway, so oh my god, there's a clue that decades, hundreds of decades have passed since she got rid of her hump or stuff like that. And then in the final episode with they were the dragons, hey, Yaskir, Yellow, actually his name is Yellow in the book. Hey, Yaskir, nice crow's feet, because they're always at each other's throats. Yennefer and Yaskir, but nice crow's feet. Oh, so it was a very subtle way to basically let the audience know that years have passed since they've all seen each other. And I've always wondered why Netflix did that, or why it was done that way. So when I finally got my hands on like the first book of The Witcher, all right, it all made sense now because that's the way it was written. Right? The Witcher book wasn't written in chronological order in a sense. Like, in chapter 1, you have Geralt and Yasker hanging out in a tavern drinking. And then in chapter 2, you see Geralt as an old man, reminiscing about his days at The Witcher. And then in chapter 3, you have him in the middle of the field, I don't know, jerking off while thinking about Yennefer of Vangabug or something like that. So, anyways, that was so fascinating in a sense that it wasn't written in chronological order, and I've honestly found it interesting, but for some reason not interesting enough that I'm actually going to continue the book series. I'm not even sure if I find it, not interesting at all for the simple reason that, I had to go on a hiatus and focus on the job first. Anyways, I am a bit tired. So that is basically the end of Dracula. So we have, let's see if I remember correctly. We have Sherlock Holmes. No, not Sherlock Holmes. We have Beowulf, Alice. Beowulf, Alice. Wait, who's on the list? The Invisible Man. The Invisible Man. Doctor. No, no, no. Doctor Jekyll and Mister Hyde. The Invisible Man, and then Dracula, and then for the final one, I didn't even know. Here's the thing, right? According to research, hold up. Okay. Uh, my back is feeling it now. Actually. Anyways, according to research, this character is almost always banned. Uh, because he's one of there are only like three characters in the S tier class, and is considered to be um this one is considered to be in the S tier class, and therefore almost always banned or almost always auto banned, because that's what happens, right? In tournaments or in tourneys, you basically bring several decks with you, and then you ban each. You ban, one, two, two, one each. You ban one from the auto, from your he ban from the your opponent's collection of decks. He bans two, then you ban two, and then he bans one. So until you're left with the remaining characters, and then you fight with that. That's how it works. At least 3 rounds each, and then the banning, and then the banning is reset. But Sherlock Holmes is almost always never played in tourneys, for the simple reason that a lot of characters just ban him outright. So the thing is, due to the sharpness of these card things, I ripped my glove. And again, I am following the manager's discretion directions that I'm not, So you guys aren't ready for a hand reveal yet. This is Dr. Watson's card, and then finally, Sherlock Holmes. He's posed as a boxer. Because you know what, you can't be an automatic nerd, or you can't be a complete nerd. You had to have some physical capabilities, and Sir Arthur Conan Doyle and those films with Robert Downey Jr. and Jude Law decided that yeah, he can't be a complete nerd. So we're gonna give Robert Downey Jr. some abs, and we're gonna make him fight a big guy. So here he's posed as a boxer, and we can tell who inspired that because he's wearing the plaid jacket, the hat, and of course the pipe. So one very useful drug addict or highly functioning sociopath. Since I can't move without you guys seeing my hand because I ripped my glove, because these things are sharp, I will be seeing you guys on Friday. Actually, we're gonna play Grand Archive on Friday, and we're gonna continue with some stuff. I will see you guys around. Bye.